Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Showbound podcast presented by Axel Watches. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, once again joined by Ethan Cardwell. Cardsy, what's up, man?
Not much, Rask. Just the best day of the week, Saturday. I get to watch a lot of college football today, so super excited about that. How about yourself?
Yeah, just a typical Saturday. I get to see you in the morning, so what's not to love about that? But we just got off an interview with Ivan Prosvetov, a hilarious guy. He's a prospect of the Arizona Coyotes. Played the last season in the AHL for Tucson and was a teammate of yours in Saginaw. But we'll get to that in a bit. We he has some outrageous stories. I think everyone who's listening to this episode, you're gonna be howling with laughter by the end. Like this guy is some stuff that is just unheard of. But I also want to say like he's matured a lot. These stories are all like public. It's nothing that's gonna get anybody in trouble. But
Yeah.
he's a good guy. He's a good kid. It was great talking to him.
And yeah, obviously, everybody knows about Ivan and how he's a fan favorite and his cartwheels. And he has some funny stories being a European coming over to North America and playing. But a lot of people tend to forget sometimes how amazing of a goaltender he actually is. And he dominated the AHL this year in his first year of pro hockey. So for him, a guy like that really making his mark in the AHL and actually getting a few games to back up in the NHL this year and join the Arizona Coyotes in the bubble is pretty special. And we should see him in the NHL for years to come.
Yeah, another bubble guy we got. He talks about his experience there, just like last week when we had Owen Tippett on. So those are always cool. We're gonna chat a little bit about Cardsy. I know that a lot of the listeners keep asking, like, let's get to know Cardsy. We have an interesting guy on the podcast that we don't really talk about too much. And in the first episode, we got into it a bit, but we have a lot of new listeners since then, obviously. So I think we have a good episode here where we're gonna get to interview Cardsy and then share some hilarious stories with Ivan Prosvetov. So before we get into that, let's talk about what's going on the internet right now. This Evander Kane and Logan Paul thing, Cardsy. There's a lot of chirping going back and forth about a potential professional boxing match between those two. What's your take on that?
I mean, it's pretty outrageous. I think the whole world saw Jake Paul's knockout and Nate Robinson there. And I don't know, man. I don't think they're not boxers. None of them are professional, real boxers, anyway, in my opinion. But it would be nice to see Kaner put them in their place, or any other hockey player kind of put the Paul brothers in their place. That's my take. How about you?
Yeah, I think it would be definitely entertaining. Obviously, the hockey world would be rooting for Evander Kane, but um, I just think that there's no way San Jose would possibly let a player that they have under contract fight in a professional boxing match, like at all, like and risk serious injuries. So I don't think it's gonna happen. But I love that he's chirping at him, and I don't know if they've spoken about making it happen yet or anything like that. But it's definitely an exciting thing going on right now. So hey, I'd love to see it. That's my opinion. But um, I also want to talk about the World Junior skates. I know you were just showing me a Snapchat of the Team Canada skates there, and for those who haven't seen it, Bauer is giving everyone in the World Juniors custom skates with their country on them, and they look fantastic. It's something that I definitely am excited to see in game action. And what do you think of those cards? Have you seen them other than Canada's yet?
Yeah, bro. I saw like the prototypes and whatnot for the other countries too, and they're nasty. I love Finland and Sweden, and we talked about this before. You love Finland. I think that blue looks so sharp, and then obviously in Sweden's you have that dash of yellow too. It's just nasty. And Team Canada, their boots are pretty sick too. Obviously, anywhere like you're representing your country, and then you got top of the line skates with the logo on it or the flag on it is pretty cool. And but my problem would be breaking them in, dude. Like I can't break in skates to save my life. I don't know about you, but like it normally takes me like a good 2 or 3 weeks to break in skates. Like I would not be comfortable in that scenario.
That's a really good point. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't get new skates as often as you, but I do know it takes me like a month, man. But I'm also not on the ice every day. Yeah, I wouldn't really want new skates heading into such a huge tournament. You're right to bring that up. So I'm not sure. I don't even know if it's optional if the players. Do they have to wear those skates?
I'm not sure. I could probably find out, but I'd imagine they probably have the option, or maybe they can make like a sticker or something to cover. I don't know. They've probably had it thought out better than we do right now. But yeah, no, I'm sure they have options and whatnot.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. And so I just want to mention too, the last episode we said we're going to be doing the Axel Watch giveaway this week. After the Ivan Prosvetov interview, we're going to do that live. We're actually going to do the giveaway live on the show here. So stay tuned to see if you won. We're giving away two sweet Axel watches, and I also want to mention that you can buy Axel watches now 15% off using the code Showbound15. So check out Axel watches. We already know they're fantastic, and we're sending one over to Ivan as well for coming on the show. So we love Axel watches, man. Like just sick. So make sure you get your own one using the Showbound 15 promo code.
And definitely not a bad gift with the holidays coming up. Something that's affordable and looks unreal on a wrist. So definitely a good purchase and a good gift for a family member or friend.
So Cards, let's talk a bit about you here. We know, well, I know you had a difficult and unique kind of road to where you are now, specifically in your first year of junior. Um, you played on a couple different teams, went to a couple different high schools that season. Bill, it's like, do you just want to talk about that and how that went for you?
Yeah, dude. Like a lot of people don't realize how much of ups and downs that can go on in a particular year as a junior hockey player, an OHL player. And younger people just think it's you get drafted to the team and you go, you live there, you play there, you do school there, and it's all amazing. But the harsh reality of the OHL and everything that goes on is there's a lot of stuff that can go on and evidently kind of screw up your schedule or where you're living or where you're playing. So yeah, basically in my 16-year-old year, I was a second round draft pick to the Saginaw Spirit. I signed a week after the draft. And I thought I was going to make the team for sure. And I gave it my all, played my best. And I stuck around till like 3 or 4 games into the regular season and got sent down to the Trenton Golden Hawks of the OJHL. And that's where it got interesting because I had already started school in Saginaw that year and I was attending Heritage High School for a month and a half almost. And so then I had to get all of that work transferred to an Ontario school in Trenton. And then I only had a 27 game stint in Trenton, which was only like 3 months long. So then I got treated to Pickering, which is super close to my hometown. So I got to live at home for that. So I ended up going to my home school for like 2 weeks. And then it was like Christmas break or something. And then I only played 12 games, I think, with Pickering. And then the season was over. We missed playoffs. And then I was ready to go back up to Saginaw again. So then I go from first at Heritage, then over to Trenton High School, then back to my Curtis Secondary School. And then I had to go online and at Heritage for the back half of that year. And then once the Saginaw season ended, I had to come back to Curtis Secondary online. So I ended up doing 3 high schools and online school that year, which was kind of crazy. And then a lot of ups and downs on the hockey side of things too. There was it's tough when you come from a minor midget team and you're one of the best players and you're first line, and you have to play a different role. I was a fourth liner in the OHL and a scratch a lot, and then in Trenton still I was battling for my minutes, and same with Pickering. So it's tough being a 16-year-old in junior, and it's something that not a lot of people realize the reality of it.
So what's your mindset, Cardsy, when you're battling, you're getting traded in the OJ, you're not playing big minutes in the OJ either, and like, do you think like, wow, like I'm not going to make the NHL, like I'm not even going to make the O, like what is that going through your head at all?
No, not really. Like I'm a pretty confident guy. I know what I can do. And I, at the start in Trenton, I was getting decent minutes and whatnot, and things kind of just went in a different direction. Nobody's fault in specific, but things just weren't right there. So I got out of there. And when I went to Pickering, I was playing really good minutes, and it started to show my production. Even though my production wasn't that bad in Trenton, it went up quite a bit in Pickering due to a increased role, kind of as I saw with my trade from Saginaw to Barrie this year too. It's just a little bit of opportunity, but no, for myself, I never really get down on myself. I know what I can do, and I know if I trust the process and do what I know is right, good things are going to happen for me.
And we talked about it in the first episode, but we can kind of just touch on it again. With your NHL draft, we don't need to get too into it, like I said, because we already did talk about this on the show. But I mean, you were a very highly rated guy, like rated in the third round, and it didn't end up getting drafted. I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but um, like, do you want to just touch on that quickly and we can move on?
Yeah, dude. It's a tough one. Like I really thought I was gonna go and whatnot, but the day after the draft, you realize everyone's on the same playing field again, and I thought I had a lot of good talks with teams, and things just started to happen, and then sure enough, wasn't lucky on that day, but it gives me the opportunity to enter the 2021 draft and hopefully be a draft pick in that draft. So that would be pretty exciting. And maybe go to a new franchise in Seattle. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go. An extra chance to get picked. But yeah, I think you're like, as long as you keep improving, and I know that you're training harder than anybody. So I'm pretty confident in that. And I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I don't know if you'll even want to answer it, but is there anyone in the OHL you hate playing against, or even like you just hate as a guy?
Oh, that's actually tough, man. Like I don't really like. I don't know if I hate anybody as a guy because like I can't really say that because like I don't know them personally. If
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
I hate them on the ice. But me and Samuelson didn't get along on Sudbury.
I don't
He's
think
like,
hey, that guy didn't get along with anybody.
no man, but me and him would go at it, and like he's 6'6", I'm like 5'11", and so it was kind of funny. But we'd always be yipping each other nonstop in those games. It was like games versus Sudbury. It was like I had my own matchup against Samuelson, and then the hockey came second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of battles against Sudbury this season. I mean, like a ton of games, Barry versus
Hmm.
Sudbury, and we talked about it in the Byfield one. Sudbury seemed to get the better of Barry every time, but yeah, that guy's a big rig. Like he's a good player actually, but he's always a pest. I mean, every time we were in Sudbury and they were here, like I remember him just like always getting in everybody's grill, but. Those are the guys you kind of want on your team too. But that's a good one. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, really.
No, you're good.
So a question we keep getting DM to us on the Instagram is like, what's your a week in your life like in the OHL season, not right now? Like, can you touch on the things you're doing, whether you're a high school when you were in school or doing it online?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first year, it would look like go to school at 8:30 in the morning, be there by 8:30. Normally leave somewhere around 11:30. Go home, grab a snack, either wake up my billet brother Cole Koski or he'd be already up and we just have lunch together or something, or go grab like Chipotle on the way or something like that. Head to the rink. Normally get there at 12:45. Everyone had to be there. Video, and then we'd go into a lot of skill at the start of practice, a few flow drills, a little bit of systems, and then you basically could do whatever you wanted at the end. And fortunately, we were lucky enough to have like one of the best locker rooms in the OHL in Saginaw there. So there was a lot of downtime after the rink, and we'd hang out, go in the hot tub, play ping pong tournaments, like make paninis or something like that, just like goof around, like just have a lot of fun with the boys. Play bubble hockey, and then typically at night, like I didn't have too much homework. Actually, it was pretty light on that front, so I'd honestly go hang out with the boys almost every night and like had a lot of fun doing that. And having a billet brother to like joke around with or just hang out in the basement with was like a lot of fun for me as well. And it kind of changed this year in Barrie. I was living on my own, and I didn't have to go to school. I was doing online. So I normally wake up every morning around 9:30, go down, make my meal, either start doing my online school or I'd go to the rink and I'd stretch out or use the Normatex, say recovery boots or whatnot, just to kind of take care of my body early on in the morning. Come home, do a little bit of online school, and then I'd head back for practice, do practice, go home, have dinner with the billets, and then it would be hang out with the boys somewhere, like play like Fortnite or something. I'm not a huge video game guy, like a lot of Netflix at night or something. But yeah, it's pretty structured, and it's a lot of the same things over and over again, but you get so used to it, and it's a lot of fun seeing the boys every day and being on a structured plan like a pro would be. So it prepares you for the NHL level.
All right, and we'll send it over to Ivan Prosvetov now. I hope you guys enjoy some of these great stories and just an interesting guy.
All right, welcome to the pod, Ivan. Glad to have you. Can you tell the listeners where you're coming in from today?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Coming in from just outside of Moscow, Stupino.
Okay.
Laid-back community, 70,000 people. So
nice. Okay, so let's. I think this is going to be a great episode. Ivan's got a lot of amazing stories from his hockey career that's still in the early goings, but a lot of fascinating stories that the listeners are going to get to hear that they might not have ever heard before. So I'll flip it over to you, Rask.
Yeah, I mean, even I've heard a couple of things already about you, Ivan. I feel like people are messaging me funny things to bring up when I posted that you're coming on the pod. But I heard you're skating with some pretty good Russian players. Can you tell us who you're training with right now?
yeah, it's I skated with a couple NHL guys: Evgeny Malkin, Radulov, Guryanov, Nichushkin, Valery Nichushkin from plays for Colorado. It's a couple of KHL guys, so it's actually pretty cool to just be around those guys every day.
How good is Malkin, like, when you're out on the ice with him? How good is he?
Every shot he's making, like, look perfect, Like, I really think right now, like, he's the best player in the world. Like, really. Like, best centerman for me. And I've been skating them for, like, two months already, like, maybe three months. And, like, every skate with him, he's just like, he's perfect athlete. He's like big pro, like take care of himself all the time, like recovery, everything like this after practices. And obviously, like in the ice, like those shots from him, he's not like shooting hard, but he's going low and like right in the spot, So really great player.
Yeah. When are you heading over to Arizona?
I don't know. Hopefully soon. I'm talking to my development coaches and everybody, my agent. Nobody knows yet, but I know already like lots of players already there. So hopefully soon I'm going to go and just train and stay there. But for now, everything up in the air. So
I want to kind of take it back. You've had an interesting junior career playing in a couple different leagues. You originally came to the United States and played in the NAHL, the NAHL. What was your decision? Like, what made you go there? Why do you want to play there coming from Russia? And was like the NCAA your goal? Is that what you wanted to do?
No, there's no way NCAA. It's my goal. Cause
Are you not a school guy?
No, man. Not a school guy. Just, I had like a sport class when I actually played here. So we literally play hockey and then go for 1 hour in school and just kind of sit there, It's all we've been doing all the time here. Like, it's how it is here. And my decision to came in the NAHL, it was obviously not get degree or something like that. I just my agent found a spot for me in Waterloo Blackhawks and USHL.
Okay.
So I went there, no English, nothing. Like, toughest time for me in the United States, obviously. Like, nothing. I knew only like when I came, like, hello, how much, how are you? That's all.
Come a long way now.
Yeah, well, hopefully you guys understand me right now.
Yeah, we get it.
Oh, man.
I didn't make the first year to the USHL. It's why I actually ended up in the NAHL my first year in North America.
Okay.
And then you went to the USHL and Youngstown Phantoms, correct? And can you tell us a little bit about how that year went?
Yeah, so that year actually been good. Like, in the NAHL, it's been tough because, like, it's tough league, Not much food with the Billet family. My first Billet family actually had 9 snakes. Imagine 9 snakes, and they've been huge Wild fans.
Yeah,
and they've been like sitting and watching the Wild games. I remember, like, they've been big fans of Darcy Camp, who played for Coyotes right now. And they've been watching with, like, this big of a snake, like, above the head and everywhere. So They've been petting them like a dogs and everything. I just couldn't live there, and I changed the billets. Then it's been better. And after this year and all, I got drafted to Youngstown Phantoms. We got to the USHL finals. Actually, we had a hell of a run there. Obviously, didn't get the chance to get the cup, but still good experience. Really good experience for me. So it's been good time in Youngstown.
Yeah, and was your goal, because like that year you probably could have went to the KHL after that and played. Was your goal really to just develop in North America and then go to the KHL? Did you expect to get drafted after that?
Yeah, actually, I got a call from this KHL team who cut me off, and they're like giving me money, like big deal there. But I already got. I think that was actually before draft. I didn't even get drafted then. But obviously, my goal was when I came to Northern America, like just be playing in the NHL. It's still is now. So I just I told the USHL team I'm gonna come back, but then I got drafted by Coyotes. Right after that, I got drafted by Saginaw, and then to the OHL.
Let's talk about your draft a bit. What was that feeling like for you? Like, what were you doing on draft day? And just like take us through that moment.
Time is different in Russia and in the US, and I think this translation I've been watching on YouTube or wherever, it's been a little bit delayed, couple minutes, and I watching it online, didn't get the pick or anything, and I get a call from my agent like, Ivan, you got drafted by Coyotes. There's a general manager, I think John Chaika, he wants to talk to you or something, and I'm like, I was really happy about it, like, because it's been my goal when you like 2 years ago when I came. I never thought about that moment actually, but that's been really good.
Yeah, definitely. And so let's get into Saginaw a bit. Cardsy, I know you have a funny story about, I think maybe it was your first OHL game. Do you want to talk about that? I don't know if it was your first or not.
Yeah, so basically what happened is so we played preseason and stuff. I knew Ivan pretty well, like after the preseason and whatnot. And then I got sent down to junior for a little bit. So then when I came back, we're in Hamilton, and Ivan had the room to himself. So they put me in with him. So I'm rooming with Ivan the night before my first OHL game. And I can remember, like, I went to bed at a decent hour, maybe like 12 o'clock or something. And obviously, as Ivan just touched on, his clocks are different. So his time change is way off. So when he wants to talk to people, it's like way different times. So I wake up in the middle of the night at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I hear this guy just losing it on the phone. He's just screaming on the phone. I don't know who he was talking to or what was going on. I think he was standing up, walking around the room, just screaming on his phone. So that was a little bit of an interesting one before my first OHL game.
Who were you screaming at?
I don't remember with who I've been talking to, but that's actually like, it's possible. Yeah. And I forgot that Cardsy was my roommate. His first, and in Hamilton, his first OHL game. But yeah, I remember I've been always talking too late to my parents, my friends, and everybody. But yeah, that's possible for sure.
Man, you got to be a little more considerate when you got a roommate, I think, man. You're not used to having a roommate on the road, I guess.
No, Ivan had the room to himself. I was intruding on him, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So tell us about that year in Saginaw. It was obviously a good year for you. Your first year after being drafted. Were you signed at that point, or did you sign after that season?
I signed after the Saginaw. The Saginaw year.
Actually, I want to bring one thing up. So, you guys go on a deep playoff run that year. I think it was in the conference finals, and man, I don't know what you were thinking. You flipped the puck over, like you shot the puck over the glass, and you got like a 5-game suspension in the conference finals, and you guys ended up losing. Like you were a huge reason of why your team went that far in the playoffs. Why did you do that?
I wasn't like, still everybody to this point, like even like my coaches and everybody like in Arizona asking me like, Ivan, did you do it on purpose? Like, but from red line, they just like saucing it puck right like to my glove. I catching it in my glove, and I see there's players coming down on me. I'm And I've been trying to do this in practice a couple times, you know, just throwing the puck above me and just like, you know, it's like, I don't know, slam it with my stick. And right when I'm doing it, and I'm already like my arm and motion already like, you know, almost like hitting the puck, and a referee blow the whistle right in that time. So I already couldn't do anything. Like I'm already doing the move, right? It's like, you know, like you're doing shot after a whistle same times when you're already like, you know, you're
Yeah.
already shooting it, and like referee giving you a whistle, and it's not like you're gonna stop your hands right away. Like same as here. I never like, I know it's like such a stupid call. Like I still like, I really think that it's stupid rule in OHL. And like be playing in front of the home crowd in the conference finals, and like I'm pretty sure we were up in like in the score. I think it was like 2-1 or any like or 2-2, or maybe we
Yeah,
down.
I think it was
1 goal.
2-1 at that point or something.
Yeah, and like we watched the video, we sent the like video of Vasilevsky doing it, like other goalies, and like we sent the video to OHL. I'm doing it before with the Flint. I remember I done it.
Yeah, you did it in Flint.
Yeah, and it's when just like in the middle of the ice. I just cleaned the zone, and but they still blow the whistle. Like, should not be 5-game suspension.
No,
like,
that's absurd.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, and it's when actually like behind the other blue line, almost till maybe like trapezoid there. Like,
Yeah.
And like there's no way I've been trying to throw the puck there.
So when it first happened, did you know it was a suspension, or did you think it was just
I was
the game?
like, yeah. Tippett was in the ice, and he's getting down to me, and he's like, Ivan, this might be 5 games, because he got 5 games for doing it like different, but like same thing. He flipped the puck in the stands in Kitchener or something. Like, I remember everybody was like, oh my God, they give him 5 games for it. Like, but I was like, no, Tip, there is no way it's going to be 5 games, because there's like no chance. Like, why they would do that? Even like after the game, like we won the game actually in overtime, and like next morning, like I've been talking to coaches and everybody. They just like, Ivan, you're gonna get 5 games for it, maybe. Like we're gonna try to send all the videos and all the like truths. You know, you've been trying to do that just to clean the zone, but you might get to 5 games for it. But I'm not been believing it for like till like actually got to 5 games, because like I'm never done it on purpose, and like it's even not even looking like that. Like if you want to flip it in the stance, you're gonna turn to like your left shoulders, look in the stance and flip it there. But I've been looking in the middle, hearing it with my right hand, so obviously it's going to the left a little bit, right? Because like this hand motion and everything. But wherever they give me the 5 games, so.
And then you obviously the 5 games kind of like it ran out and made you miss the whole rest of the series there. But I think one thing that a lot of fans and a lot of the Saginaw boys have texted me and asked me to bring up on the pod was what took place after the suspension when you got kicked out, and then you came out from the room and you stole the microphone from the guy.
Yeah, I've seen this video. You went on a little bit of a rampage there, man. What happened?
That was crazy. I was so emotional. I'm like, so I got to the locker room after I got kicked out. I like, like, so did this big bottle with Gatorade. I get in the room. I'm like slamming it against the wall, this water, like throwing all my gear, like really mad. And after that, game went to overtime. I think we tied the game for like last minute, and I got back by the door where we coming out in the ice, and no immediate timeout, and we had this. Oh my God! Oh, and I remember we had the captain. Yeah, he's been screaming something like "Let's go Saginaw" or like pumping the players up, and everybody. And some fans was behind me like, Ivan, get in there. And I'm like, I guess I have to do that. And like, I was so lucky they turned off the tumble truck and I didn't get to the scoreboard, because that would be crazy. But yeah, that's something that was I'm looking back right now, and I'm like, I would never do that again.
I was
Now I'm actually that I learn, right, like we live and learn every day, and I learn from that. Like I talked to Laz, our coach, after that. He's like, Ivan, like if you get in a suspension after a game, what's the real pro do? He gonna put on his suit, go upstairs and watch from press box. What would you do? That was so funny, but yeah, I learned from that actually, and I would never do that again. And yeah, that's actually only probably one thing I'm really mad at myself at that point, because I knew like I didn't get suspension and nothing did anything on purpose. So
I know you were a huge fan favorite in SAG, and obviously when we do our jersey bids and stuff like that, your jerseys would always go for the highest amount and stuff. And some of this obviously attention and love from the fans came from your cartwheels. So can you kind of take us through how you got into doing these cartwheels and putting on a show for the crowd every night?
Yeah, there was I remember I've been trying to do this in practice, just got there a couple times, and I was like, oh, this is pretty easy. And I'm pretty sure we've been kind of in the like whole team, like, and everybody in Saginaw in the start of the year. We got coach fired, and everybody been in a really bad mood. And I was like, all right, like, let's have some fun. I think we won the game with maybe even like with old coach, but we still been playing bad, and everybody wasn't like happy about us. Like we're not been happy about ourselves.
Yeah,
fans, like we didn't have any fans in the stands in the start of the year. Obviously, like in the finals, I remember that crowd, and it was crazy. That atmosphere. And but so I got the first star of the game, and I think we had like tradition, we give the puck, I think, or like mini stick to the fans. And so I went give it to some girl or little guy stick or puck, and after that I was like waiting to a crowd, and I'm like, all right, like maybe let's do it, like maybe now that's a thing, I'm gonna do it. And I just done it once, and I never thought they're gonna be doing it again. I'm like, all right, once, just just a little fun here. But it's like next, like same night probably. Like I'm watching like T-Sand posting it, like Sportsnet, everybody. I'm like, oh my god, there's no way that's gonna go that viral. But and I never was want to do that again. But everybody was like, really want me to do that. They started like saying, they even started selling those shorts with me doing the cartwheel. I still have one.
Yeah, that was the best.
Like my dad actually wearing it all the time at our house and stuff. but yeah, and after that I just kind of I've been doing it for like a couple more times, and it's like people was loving it. But after that, at some point, I just I'm like, I don't want to get to know about, like, and people are gonna be saying like we know him because guy just does cartwheels, not his playing hockey and like working hard and like he just does cartwheels. Like what the like that's not what you want. And I'm like, all right, just gonna stop doing it. And yeah. And then I just stopped, and but that's still a lot of people was like, I don't know, that was we know you because you do this cartwheels. I'm like, yeah, well, thank you.
Is that something you think you'd do in the NHL if you get the chance?
No way, never.
Okay.
Staying with the flipping the net after a shutout or anything like this, never again.
Oh yeah, can you explain that? I saw a picture, like you would flip the net down after a shutout. What's that about?
Yeah, just like shut the net down. Like if you like made the shutout, you shut the net. So that's what I've been doing after last whistle. So like couple actually times after. I think every time after I made the shutout in regular season in Saginaw. But now I never do anything like this. I guess just just like as you're moving on with your hockey career, like at some point you have to get to a level when you have to be a real pro, and you can't really do stuff like this, like, right? You're not a clown or anything. So I'm never doing it again. But actually I remember in my first shutout in one shutout I have in AHL, It was so my G man came to me off the bench and told me like, Jay, our head coach told you not to shut the net down after the whistle. And I was like 5-on-4 and like maybe a minute left. And I'm like really want this shutout. And like I'm like, there's no way, like they said the word shutout to me, like there's no way, like, and it was like in my head like
Oh, yeah.
this minute. But I didn't shut the net and they didn't score, so just everything ended up really good. But I'm never gonna do anything like this, probably. Live and learn every day, right? So
Yeah. Well, he says that now, but once he's an established NHL starter, we might see some antics out there. Don't put it past him. I've seen it before. So
I don't know if I ever gonna be like starting in NHL, like maybe one day, but
Yeah.
hopefully not.
Well, for me, like, I mean, yeah, when you're established, it's good to see players with personality and stuff. Like I wouldn't mind seeing people show cool things and do stuff like that.
And then I just have a few things here. So obviously it was just like your third year in North America when you were in SAG. And I remember a funny story on the bus, and we're riding on the bus, and if anybody's on the I-75 highway there, you know, there's like a lot of deers running around on the side of the road. And it was like one of our early bus trips. And I don't know, Ivan, you can say it better maybe if you remember, but you saw a deer and you started screaming animal on the side of the
that was Goldowski. He was lying. I never. I think I screamed the deer, and but Goldie, he was always been making fun of my English and my accent, and like he was like, I think I screamed the deer, and everybody would like look there, and Goldie after like right minute after, he was like animal, and like, you know, everybody just starts saying it. I'm like, never, you know, just like same thing like Damien Giroux.
Yeah.
Like they've been yelling Demian, the whole bus. I remember it. He was been getting so mad, like same as me with this animal, you know.
Well, dude, this happens so often in SAG. Guys would just make things up and then it would stick. So then everyone would say animal, and then everyone would say Dalian. So that's kind of how that stuff starts. And then I just want to say my favorite story. And this one was highly requested from like a lot of people. I'm sure you're gonna get it right away. Can you just tell us about the moped story?
Yeah. This one I will remember for a while for sure. Lots of stories from Saginaw actually.
Yeah, you had a great time. So.
Yep. And actually, like through the year when I played, I was like, oh, like normal year, you know, not a lot of stuff happened, normal year. But after that, if you look back, oh my God, there's so many. And so I didn't have a car or anything in Saginaw, or like through my junior career. I never had the car, never drove in the United States. I have my license. I drive in Russia. I have a car right now in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think there was a Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure, in Canada.
Yeah.
That day or night day before, and everybody like obviously like you know each other. We have a lot of Canadians, and everybody went home. So everybody who could give me a ride to the rink, they went straight from home. They went straight to rink, and I think I was calling everybody like, can you come pick me up? And they're like, oh, we already at the rink, Ivan. And I'm like, at that time, I was never been using the Uber or anything. Like now, I would just like order Uber and like get to the rink, right? Because like it was pretty far. I think it was like 15 minutes or 20 minutes like drive from. You have to go through highway, or you can go through the city, but it's like long drive.
Yeah.
And but I'm actually like a couple days before. I remember I've been ripping this moped around. Now I would never do that again too. And anything like motorcycle or anything too dangerous. And but at that time I was like, oh, this might be a good idea. So I didn't have a ride. I remember like all my billets there at the work. My billet brother was at the school, and nobody can give me a ride. I'm like, all right, we have a practice in like 30 minutes. What I have to do? Got the keys, get to the garage, get this moped out, uh, turn on this thing and looking like no gas in there, like almost nothing. I was new. Where is the so in this moped actually you have to put like oil in there and gas in the same time and mixed it. Like I don't know why, but it's how you do it in moped.
Yeah.
I never knew that. So I just went to I drove to the gas station first. Asked, you know how all the bikers they like saying hi to each other or like
Yeah.
if anything happens, like me like I'm 6'5" and this moped like so small and me like no bucket. To that time I've been actually dressed up actually pretty funny too. I was ripping all the time to the rink like my red Russian national team tracksuit.
Yeah.
So I have this tracksuit on. And I'm like, I think those moped was going only like 30 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So I was ripping this 30 miles in the road, like everybody going past me. I get into the gas station and I see like one biker in there. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "How's it going, man?" And he was like, he looked huge. He's like, he's a beer, like and everything, you know. I'm like, "What gas you put in your bike?" He's like 87 or like whatever, like regular gas. I'm like, all right, sounds good. I'm gonna put the same. So I put the gas in the moped. Didn't knew it's like have to be oil and gas. So I almost burned the engine or something like this. And but yeah, after that I was driving through the like it was actually weather was pretty good. I'm like, oh, how nice this! Like, I probably should do that every day. Take the little moped for a little ride. But I'm driving, like saying hi to all the bikers. I actually love it. I'm like, oh my God, what a nice day in Saginaw. So, and I'm like, I didn't knew I can go to the rink through the city. I-75, like big highway, like pretty big highway.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's a huge highway. Like this, like cars are going like 70, 80 miles per hour. No, like 80 miles per hour on this road. So
yeah, right. It's going through Detroit to like Ontario and I knew only this road, only this way. And I would remember I would like, all right, I just have to do it. I went to this highway going 30 miles per hour there. Like all the trucks and everything, like all this like cars going by me, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I was really happy. There wasn't a lot of cars. It wasn't like time for traffic, like not a lot of cars, but still, you know, like moped and this in the highway.
yeah.
And I didn't even have the right gas in there. If it would break, I didn't have the like American SIM card. I can't even call anybody or like do anything. Like now I'm like, oh my God. But I got to the rink, parked my moped, and everybody like, Ivan, how'd you get here? Oh my God, like what's up? I'm like, what's up, guy? Just ripped my moped, and like everybody went like, no, you didn't. No, you. I'm like, go look. Everybody went outside and like they see this red moped standing there. Like anybody can steal it. And after practice, we have a video or something, and it said practice is over. I'm coming out, and I'm like, and guys like, where's your moped? I'm like, I don't know, where is it? Like I saw they hiding it from me or anything like this. And I'm start panicking, like, oh my God, there's no way, like somebody stole them, like, come on. And so we went to the Lester's room. It's our equipment guy. He had like cameras or something from outside in his room. And after that, I just called my billets, and my billets was just pick them up in their truck, put them in their truck, and drove them home.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the whole story with moped. That was actually crazy.
And yeah, that was a hell of a story. Obviously, the boys got a good chuckle thinking Ivan lost his moped there for sure. But no, let's take it to a more serious note and get back to your hockey career and just kind of take us through your first year of pro hockey. I know you came to Saginaw at the start of the year for training camp. Obviously, we were all hoping that you were going to come back selfishly for the team's sake, but for you, we were all hoping you made it. And I remember the last day before you left, you said, "Cards, I do not play hockey in OHL this year." Right? And I remember I was like, yeah, well, he's telling me he's not coming back, so I believe him. And sure enough, you ended up having an amazing year in the AHL and a small stint in the NHL as a backup too. So can you kind of take us through that?
I remember I didn't knew, right, I'm going to the AHL are coming back to the O. But I'm pretty happy like everything ended up like this. My first year was it was great experience, and it's been great. Obviously, didn't went how I wanted to with this coronavirus stuff. Didn't get the chance in the playoffs, but like everybody, right? Have to control where we can control. But that's been good. Like a lot of difference for me because, like, like pro hockey and in junior hockey, I guess it's. I think this like first year really changed me a lot because you live on your own. Like for me, like in different countries for sure, but you live on your own and you do everything by yourself there. Like lots of difference. You already make some money, and like you have to pay all the bills and everything yourself. Like lots of stuff was really different. You're not living with billets. You have to cook the food. You have to like take care of yourself. But like I'm glad I didn't came from straight from Russia to AHL. Like like a lot of guys do. Like straight from Europe, they go in here in North America to play. That would be really tough because I had some experience right here. Like my billets, like all the billets, I really glad I had them. Like I'm really thankful for them because like they give me some notes about like United States and like so I knew like where to buy food, like where to go, and like obviously my English was better that time, and but that's been really different for me first year in pro, but I really enjoyed it. We had a great team in Tucson, and obviously NHL was a goal for me. So I got my first call up this year. Spent some time there with those players, like time in bubble actually too. It was great. It was great.
What was it like in the NHL bubble there? I know last week we talked with Owen Tippett about it. Like what was your experience like?
Like Tip, he was there before, right? He played in the NHL, and like it's probably wasn't that big of a deal for him, but for me, like as a little kid, you watch all those players, like Kane, like who else was there? Like Pecorino was my favorite for a long time, and I had the chance to like live like kind of in the same floor with those guys. Like you go in the restaurant and like Patrick Kane like sitting beside you, or like that's been great. All those players, just be around them and like feel this atmosphere of playoffs, like NHL playoffs. That was great. Met some Russian players there, like actually Radulov. I met him there. Khudobin, goalie from Dallas. I met him there too. So that's it's been really good. It's been really good to be around those players. Just see how they like our guys, like Ekman Larson, like everybody, how they prepare for the games and everything in the playoffs. So it's been a really good experience for me.
Yeah, and you have a great team coming up here, bright future ahead, and then obviously with a guy like you in the system, yeah, it's going to be a team that's going to be good for a long time here. So you guys were obviously a little bit of a scary team in the playoffs and had a decent showing, and obviously didn't go how you wanted, but set up for good years ahead. So that's very exciting too.
I want to hop in as well. You had a roller coaster season, like mostly AHL. We talked about up in the NHL, but you were even down in the ECHL for a bit. I want to know, what was that experience like? You lit up the league, like you dominated statistically. Like how did that little stint go for you?
That was actually one of the toughest times in the year for me because I was really good in the statistic. I'm pretty sure I was like first in save percentage and goals against or something like this. And I was playing really good. I think I had like when I played, I think I didn't lost the game or something. And I never knew like I'm gonna go in the coast like. But it's how it works in the NHL. Like doesn't matter how good you are. It's just it's way it is. It's way it goes sometimes. It's why you have to be a pro there because it's some guys obviously better than you, and sometimes you just have to take it and just wait for your next chance and like guy can score the goal, and next game like he could get scratched just because like older player or like somebody else coming down from NHL to play, and like you just have to take it. Same as me, like I was the goalie coming for conditioning stand, and I just got actually my girlfriend flew over, and we just moved in an apartment. Everything's so good, and we have day off. I'm so happy, just like staying. Like I'm pretty sure I was in the hot tub or something, just. And I get a call from the coach, like Ivan, like I have to talk to you. I'm like what happened? Like I'm getting traded. There's no way. Like I'm like it's my first year. Like no way I'm gonna get something like this here. But he's like, you're going to the Rapid City. What I like heard from Rapid City from the guys who played there, it was like 12 hours bus trips and this like sleeper bus, which is like 30 years old, and like I didn't really want to go there, but he's like, there's the deal, like Comrie guy, he's coming from for conditioning stand, and you just have to go there and play some games. I went there and booked a ticket for my girlfriend. We spent the time there with her, and actually I was when I came, I was really happy about. I had the experience to play there. I went to the Rushmore, like stuff like this, and like met some great guys. Actually, I had great teammates there and great memories from that team. Like president of the team, actually. So I couldn't rent a car or anything because I was 20 years old. And president of the team, he gave me his Nissan Armada, which is like huge like truck or like huge car, and give me the truck to drive there and everything like this. Bought me a hotel room for all the nights I stayed there. Didn't stay at the apartment, so me and my girlfriend had her like kind of a own place, and it's been good. And like hockey wise was really good too. Really offensive. I found ECHL is really offensive, like kind of like OHL hockey, because AHL is more like defensive play, more like closed hockey. But in the East Coast, there's like chance after chance after chance. So
yeah, and I think Cardsy, I think that Rapid City, I may be wrong, but I think they're the only team in the ECHL that still takes the bus everywhere, if I'm correct. So that's a grind. I know that there's been a couple like Brock players that have gone on to play there, and great organization. But I mean, that's got to be tough going to take the bus for those long games. You're far from everyone, and
I think they're flying right now. They start flying from so they shouldn't start flying from this year. It's how it's been planned.
Oh, okay.
Now obviously everything is changing. Like I don't know how it's gonna be, but
yeah.
But that bus, actually everybody was like hating it. Like there was like oldest bus I ever saw. Like the banks were so old, and you know how you put like sheets in like under you, like in this bank, and I didn't knew you had to bring any sheets or anything, so I just got this bed there in the bus, and other guy he said like he had like big beer like this, and no juice, like he was like tough guy. He didn't have any sheets either, like me, and everybody had, and everybody was like, "Oh, Ivan, nice, you're like really cheese player." I'm like, "Why? Like, why am I a cheese player? Like, come on!" Like, and then like, it was the start of the trip, and they all like, "You get to know why we call this league a cheese." I'm like, "Why? Like normal league? Like, why is it cheese? Cheddar?" They said. I'm like, "Okay, cheddar. I'm never gonna get it." And after my first trip, like no pregame meal, nothing, just like bus in this bank with no sheets for like 20 hours. Everybody like playing cards, having some fun, but yeah, like, and after that trip, I was like, yeah, now I got to know why is it cheese.
That is unreal. Wow, what a story there.
All right, let's take it to a couple fan questions. We had a bunch actually, but we're going a little long, so I think I'll take two, maybe three. One of them, which was funny. Do you consider yourself falling in the stereotype of weird goalies?
Well, I really wish I'm not. Like I really, because I'm. Well, if you really know me personally, like you might not think that, but from all the stories, like if you like played with me like in junior hockey, hopefully now like I'm saying to myself, like hopefully now you change. Maybe used to, like all these things I've been doing, they've been a little weird. But but yeah, there was I really hope I'm not. I really hope I'm not.
No, I can attest to that. No, Ivan just has a few crazy stories that make him seem like that. But if you get to know him and play with him, he's a normal guy.
Well, honestly, I haven't met a normal goalie yet, so I don't know if I necessarily believe you, Cards. But
You have to be different. Well, you have to be different, right? Like
A
you're
little
taking
bit.
pucks every day on you, and like
yeah,
really tough job mentally. So like it's really different. But still, I'm really hope I'm not that different.
yeah. So I'll go one more here. Have you had any like major struggles on the path to where you are now?
Or not real. Well, not really. Like everything, like all the struggles, I think they made me stronger, right? Like
Yeah.
what's not killing us, making us stronger, and everything, like all those stories, everything from my past career, like I wouldn't take it away. Really, like if you look far back and like hopefully like in like 10 years I'm gonna be looking back and they're gonna have way more and I'm gonna be like, wow, I've been through a lot. That's good. So that's always good. Bad experience is still experience, and I just take it.
Yeah, well, nobody's driven a moped 30 miles per hour down the I-75 other than you. So
Imagine like when I born like in this little city, I never like knew that's gonna happen. Like why I would be like driving like as a hockey goal, I'm gonna be driving the moped in the highway 30 miles per hour
and
with no bucky.
yeah, no Bucky on, and now you're a an absolute star on social media with the cartwheels and whatnot, and just a kid from Moscow.
Ivan, I want to thank you, man. That was a really entertaining one, really funny. I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully I can watch you play this year in Arizona.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, and what an interview that was. Great guy, great goaltender, and well, a lot of great stories there, and I'm sure the listeners really enjoyed that one.
It was a good one. And Cardsy, I gotta say something that's on my mind. We just talked about this before, and I wasn't gonna bring it up on the podcast, but I want to hear some feedback from the listeners. I just realized while I was FaceTiming Cardsy like 5 minutes ago that my nostrils aren't the same size. And we don't need to get into it. We're late in the episode, but just if anyone else has noticed this, maybe take a look at your own nostrils. Like I'd love to hear some people. Cardsy said that everybody's like that, but I don't believe it. So anyway, we don't need to get into it. We'll move on. Cardsy, your face right now.
Yeah, man, a little caught off guard. Yeah, a little bit of an absurd question, but moving along, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So we talked about that we're gonna do the Axel Watch giveaway on this episode. I got it teed up right now. I'll show it on screen here for the YouTube viewers. I got it going on this app here. It's gonna pick 2 winners. So I'll start it, or I'll screen record this just in case there's any issues. And here we go.
Drum roll.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and the winners of the 2 Axel Watches are Joe Plaster 15 and Piet 42. Congratulations to you guys. We'll be in contact with you and take a look at the website, pick whichever one you want. That's exciting. And I know Cardsy and we just got our Axel Watches sent to us today. I'm rocking mine right now. What about you?
Yes, sir. Looking
We actually
dapper.
got matching blue watches here, so we're looking sharp. And Cardsy, I know you're going to be looking good rocking that into the rink soon enough, hopefully, if the season gets going.
Yeah, man, can't wait to rock it with a nice suit. Yeah, I'll be looking good to say the least.
Yeah, and make sure you use the promo code Showbound15 for 15% off. Check out the website. Let's talk about the Bachelorette. Like I said, we're running a little long, so we'll get this thing going. But obviously, the big kind of thing at the end with Bennett coming back. What's your take on that? What do you think? And obviously, they kind of foreshadowed he's staying.
Yeah, so he'll be around. Bold move by him. I mean, I called it right from last week. I said Noah was going to get stick around, and so I'll take a little pat on the back for that one. But yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Just kind of a wacky episode, but we got a doubleheader next week, so we'll have more on it.
Yeah, it looks exciting next week. I didn't know that Tasha had these feelings for Bennett. Like she looked so excited to see him all the time, but I never really noticed that before when they were talking. So bold move by Bennett, like respect to him. If he really loves her like he says he does, then you can't just walk away and give up. So good for him. Uh, I like him. I've said I've liked him from the start. So I don't think he's gonna win, but I just like him for the entertainment value, and he's definitely providing. So yeah. Anything else we want to add here, Cardsy?
No, I think that pretty much wraps it up for us, and just another great episode, and can't wait to get this one out there for the listeners.
All right, see you guys next week.